Hello everyone and welcome to the Trending in My Life podcast, episode 68. This week I'm calling it Life Forecast because you're probably like me and you do a forecast for what your weekend will look like, just like the weather people do. They forecast a day in advance that you're going to have sunshine, and the day after that you might have cloud. Now when it comes to Friday evening, I forecasted how my weekend will look. And I know that I want to get this done and that done and maybe go somewhere to film. And then when it comes to it, that forecast kind of goes out the window. Elements of it, yes, they're still there, but like the weather, it can be changeable and not quite be what you expected. So that's what my weekend has been like. Yesterday I got up and I went out filming, which is what I intended to do. It was in my forecast. But then I was dashing around, running some errands. I came back from filming. I was home for only about half an hour and I uploaded the footage onto my laptop. But then I was like, it's getting later into the afternoon. I want to go and fetch some things from town. I need to run an errand and all these life things that you have to do in your everyday life, get food in, stuff like that, they get in the way of maybe what you'd forecasted to do. So this is how I found myself churning out a video at like 9:45 at night because I hadn't had the time to edit during the day. I had planned in my forecast for the weekend to film in the morning, edit in the afternoon. But then I forgot about the things that I also have to do on a weekend, like cleaning bits and pieces and fetching things from shops and stocking up. You run out of milk, so you can't ignore that. Not if you want a cup of tea anyway. You have to go and get it. And then while you're getting that, you think, I might as well get the food in that I need for the next few days. So then there's a shopping list, and then there's taking the backpack and a few other bags down to the big supermarket, and then this all becomes a couple of hours out of your day that wasn't in the forecast. And so that's what my Saturday was like. And I said to myself when I got up Sunday, okay, I'm not going to have another day like that. I'm going to make sure that I have plenty of time to do my editing in the day so that doesn't happen. But then what happened, as things don't always go to plan, is that I was looking on the map for something and I realised that we have quite a big supermarket in a different area close to us. And I thought, they have certain things that I like, and I haven't been there to that brand of supermarket for quite a while. I'd like to do that. So instead of popping to the one 10-15 minutes away, I decided to go to this other one. And then that turned into a whole other thing because I thought it was in one direction and then just cross over the railway line and 10-minute walk and you can find it. But it wasn't. It was in another direction. And I realised this on the walk there and ended up having to get on a train. It was only 2 stops, but then when I got off, I was in an area I didn't know and I had to do a 20-minute walk. And there was really a dangerous corner where there was no crossing and it was very busy and you had to cross to get to the supermarket or the edge of their car park anyway. And I thought this was a really bad idea. And once I was inside, I did get the things that I said, they're specific to that supermarket. They do this, they do that. And I was really pleased. I like tuna in olive oil, and lately my local supermarket have not been doing it. and this new one that I visited had. So it was worth the trip, but I wouldn't go back because of the distance I had to travel and the awkwardness of how to get there. Anyway, that all took a big chunk out of my day, which I didn't plan on. And it had started very well, First thing this morning, breakfast time, I'd gone a walk. I'd gone through a nice nature area, which was very relaxing. And I'd been recording some ASMR shorts. And then I was picking up breakfast from a local convenience store and bringing it back, and it went very well. But then like I say, later in the day it didn't go so well. I had edited a short before I went on my excursion, but it didn't go to plan. And part of my filming for the weekend that I did yesterday, I was filming a video and it needs a bit more adding to it, which I could do in a different location, not far, but sort of a bus ride away that I would need to get to. And I just didn't have time to do it. I didn't have time to do it. So I can edit part of that video, but I can't finish the video. And after all my dashing around, I decided to just have a break and watch some YouTube. And then I was feeling like, I'm really cold. Why am I really cold? I'll go and put thicker clothes on. And then when I went upstairs, I went in the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and I thought, oh, good grief, I'm all weirdly blotchy. And why, I have no idea. But part of my day was filming me trying on some clothes, which I can't do because my face is all blotchy. So I'm like, okay, so you couldn't get to the location you wanted to do some filming because you ran out of time. You can't now do a video in the house because your face is all blotchy. I was also going to do epilogue 3, the final of the Move epilogues. And again, because of the way I look right now, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I might get round to doing that tomorrow. But there we go. The life forecast for the weekend didn't account for that at all. I've taken a couple of tablets and I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'm headachy and don't realise I'm headachy, and maybe the blotchiness is all connected with that, and that's why I was I had been previously warm then cold, and anyway, whatever. The point is, I'm not photogenic right now, and that wasn't in the plan. But yeah, I will probably put out the short I was editing this morning instead, as well as this podcast today. But it just goes to show, when you have a life forecast for your weekend, it doesn't always go to plan. And there's nothing you can do about it. With all the will in the world, I don't intend to put, a thick troweled layer of makeup on to try and cover up my blotchiness. It'll fade, it'll pass, it'll just be one of those things, and the headache will go away and I'll be fine. And I'm very fortunate because this week I have the whole week off work, so I can try and do the things I plan to do today tomorrow, except of course I've got other things in my life forecast for tomorrow that I'll have to jiggle around a bit to fit those bits in. So and this is what we do on an everyday basis, and I'm sure you're just the same. And it's a good thing if you're able to roll with it when things don't go according to plan, when you're able to adjust your expectations and juggle that forecast a bit and think, okay, it's not a big deal, we can do something different, we can do that another day, we can change things around a bit. Yes, I have the whole week off work because it's my birthday week, and I try and do that. I find if I just take a day, I don't know, there's too much pressure to make that day incredible and fantastic and memorable, blah, blah, blah. And if I take the week off, and I've always got plenty of days left at this time of year, I can kind of enjoy the week and do something or other a little bit special on each day, and I enjoy it that much more. So that is the plan. On my birthday is on Tuesday, and on my actual birthday, trying to decide what exactly to do with it, and I said to my son, "Oh, just surprise me." So whatever I'm doing on Tuesday, I don't know anything. And I did film my birthday last year, so we will try and film some of it this year. I did find last year that I felt that some of it I wanted to remain private, and some of it I didn't mind sharing with my viewers. And I think this will be a similar thing. And I think that's nice. It's nice to share that experience, but also keep a little bit to yourself. And in that way, it gives you the best of both worlds, shall we say. But of course, that's my forecast, and who knows how that'll turn out. I have got a camera that I've had months and haven't got to grips with using, and that's something that I'm hoping to have some help from my son to use that on my birthday. I saw this camera so long ago. I think it was before last Christmas, and there was a guy on the South Bank demonstrating how to use it, and it gave the impression that you were getting a view from a height without seeing the stick that it was on. And I've now got one of those, but I can remember I unboxed it and I was all excited about it, and then I downloaded the app, and then, life got in the way and it got left in the box, and then something else happened and I thought, oh yes, I must get that camera out. This week I'm going to get that, and it's just never happening. And to have a camera for filming that you're not using is crazy. I tend to use my phone for photographs, so that's a lot of what my shorts are like, for my street art, for the flowers, for the autumn views, stuff like that. And then and Halloween I've been doing recently, and then I use my GoPro for filming when I'm out and about, and part of that is because it fits into my hand. So GoPros are so small, it's wonderful that when you wrap your hand around it, although, sometimes my finger droops down on the lens and shouldn't. I have to edit that out. But the point is, it can be gripped in your hand and not obvious that you're filming when you're walking down the street or something. So it's less of a theft risk. It's less obvious, and you feel more in control that someone isn't going to see you with this massive camera and target you to steal it. Hopefully on Tuesday I will learn how to use it, and then from then on it will be part of my camera equipment that I use. Since we moved into the new house, I think it was only last week for the first time I got the lights working. I unpacked my lights and put them together and angled them at the sofa when I did that video, and that was great because I noticed the difference immediately. I didn't have to sort of raise the light when I edited. It was already filmed with good lighting. But there's things like I've got actually a big round, it's hard to describe, a big round thing. It was in my last birthday video actually, and I've not really learned how to angle the light on it to bounce back up at my face, and I need to do that. It's funny, I didn't realise until I'm just talking about it that I don't use it. So yeah, that's something. I know exactly where it is, because when we moved in, I moved all my camera equipment by hand by myself from our previous address. I didn't pack it and move it with the movers, and I put it into the wardrobe that's nearest the window that has shelves in it, and all the filming equipment is in there. And I've been filming for 18, 20, about 20 months now. So I have collected some, I've had, with this birthday coming up, I've had 2 birthdays, I've had 2 Christmases, and had the presents given to me from friends and relatives of things for my channel to create the content. And I consider myself very lucky and very thankful that I've been given those things, because it's made my content better. Although I, as a person, make my content worse or better depending on how I'm focused on what I'm doing. I think the trouble is, when you're a content creator, you have an idea and you want to go out and film it. And sometimes you're so busy just getting the footage you want that you don't get the quality that you should, because you're not thinking of the technique, you're thinking of the content. And I'm definitely guilty of that and have to get better at that. But I will improve, I will get better. So yeah, this week, I think, because my life forecast for my weekend has been totally wrong, and things haven't got done, and things, I've run out of hours and stuff like that, I'm not going to forecast what the week will look like. I thought I might write a list of things I would like to fit into the week without having a day in mind. As we go into the winter months, it's always a good idea for me to have a backlog of content, because at the moment we've got cold but sunny weather, which is great, but we will have rain, and a lot of it as we go into the winter months. And what that will mean is I will be very limited in what I can film, unless I don't mind getting soaking wet. So yeah, there's going to be weeks when content is difficult to do, and there are things like next Saturday I'm having my flu jab, and normally on a Saturday I would be out, I would be filming. Well, I'm having the jab at, I think it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and you're not really supposed to dash around and do loads of stuff after you've had the injection. So that means that if I want to do any dashing around, I've got to do it between getting up and going and getting that. And then the rest of the day, I've got to be chilled and relaxed. It's always that thing that you can get sort of a mild version of the flu once you've had the immunisation from it. And so I make a point of not being my usual self and 20,000 steps and stuff, crazy, here, there and everywhere, because it's a health thing. You're not supposed to do that after you've had that. And I'll get up on the Sunday and I'll see how I feel, but I still should take it reasonably easy, laid back compared to what I normally do. So the majority of my week from Monday to Friday will be doing some filming, doing some stuff in the house, but not going too crazy anyway. I think if you set yourself too big a forecast of what you can achieve and what you can do, don't get me wrong, setting goals is great, but as long as you're flexible with achieving that in a week, it's one thing to set a goal for 3 months or something like that. But from my point of view, I would like to film a certain amount of things, but it depends on their location, how long it takes. Sometimes it can take me an hour to get to a location before I can start filming, and sometimes getting back can take an hour. Depends on when you get to a station, whether there's a train coming, depends whether there are any delays, and once I'm in central London, which tube lines are running, stuff like that. That can mean that you get like a 15-minute video, but you've spent 2 hours getting there and getting back. So that takes up half a day. And with all the will in the world, I could say to myself, oh, I'm going to do this video and this video and this video, and then not be able to fit them all in. And I think what Saturday taught me was I need to allow edit time. It's good to have a backlog of footage, but not if you've not allowed edit time before you put things out. I don't really like uploading to YouTube at 10:15 at night, and I'd been editing from about 6 o'clock in the evening. So that's not a great way to be doing it. That's too much pressure. That's too much concentrated editing time. So my life forecast for this week is changeable. And we'll just see how that goes. I did something. The video I was filming yesterday was not something that I had planned at all. It was just sometimes I think content happens unexpectedly, and that's what it was. At the moment, my summer clothes are still, there are 2 built-in wardrobes in the room at the new house that I'm in, and one of them I just hung up my summer clothes in, and one of them my winter clothes, because we moved in August, and it kept switching the weather between cold and warm, and so I'd got both sets. Normally my summer clothes are all packed away once we're in October now. They would have been packed away in September, but I've been wearing the sort of fall clothes that I've got, fall to winter, for about 3 to 4 weeks. And I'm very conscious of the fact that most of them are navy blue. I've got navy blue leggings and various tops and dresses, but it's all because I like the blue palette and it suits me. My wintry one is navy blue, my summer one is sky blue, but there is a very dramatic difference between the two, and I thought, I don't like it. Basically, I don't like the clothes being so dark. It stops me being cheery. So what I decided to do was try and overhaul that and get some brighter colours into my wintry wardrobe without it looking like you're wearing summer clothes in winter. Anyway, like most of us, I'm on a budget. I can't afford to make over my entire wardrobe. That's not possible. So I decided to hit the thrift stores, the charity shops, and see what was available in my size that I could come up with. And when I got back on Saturday, I'd found 3 different tops, and I was really pleased with that. But that video, I didn't intend that video. I didn't plan that video. That idea, that content happened because I opened the wardrobe door and thought, this is also dark. I don't like it. And that's why the video has come about, and the video isn't finished yet. I have to try on the items, because what happened was I got them home, I then washed them, and they were drying last night, and I was planning to wear them this morning and film it, and now I'm all blotchy. so we'll have to do that tomorrow or the next day, and that video will probably come out later this month. It might not come out this coming Friday, because that would if I film on my birthday video will come out Friday. So there you have it. I hope you learn to be flexible with your life forecasting, because I think you can make yourself miserable, and you can be very frustrated and cross with yourself when you can't get everything done, or it doesn't go to plan, and you feel you're failing at something, and just give yourself a break. Like the weather, no matter what they forecast, it might not be that when the day comes around. And like life, if you forecasted that will happen then and this will happen then, sometimes it doesn't happen, and you just have to go with the flow. Be flexible. I think Londoners are sort of trained in that vein, because of the fact that if we're trying to get from A to B, we can get to a train station and they can be cancelled, they can be delayed. Like I had the other night when it took me 3 3/4 hours to get home. There was a trespasser on the tracks, and all the trains going in that direction were stopped and suspended, and it was catching buses and stuff just to get even a little way back to get home. That was really frustrating, but as a Londoner, we have to deal with stuff like that, and at some point you give into it and thinking, oh well, I'll get there when I get there, and that's what you have to do. And there's always another day. If your plan didn't quite work, and you didn't get to do what you wanted to do at all, there's always another day when you can give it a go again, and maybe it'll be a better day, and maybe it'll go better for you. So if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, and see you next time. Bye for now.